Hi, and welcome to Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I got my friend Ayona with us, and she's from the Kindness and Smile Zone. Hi, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here today.
You're welcome. I appreciate you making the time. So, before we jump in and talk about your idea, tell me a little bit about yourself as a person.
Absolutely. My name is Ayona Jaswal, and I'm a 15-year-old grade 10 student in Ontario. I definitely run the Kindness and Smile Zone, but beyond that, I'm a classical dancer as well as an author. I really enjoy writing, reading as well. And another thing that I really enjoy is spending times outdoor in nature. You can always see me gardening during summer, biking, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's basically a little bit of me.
So, let's talk a little bit about the Kindness and Smile Zone. Why did you start this idea? What need, what opportunity did you see?
Yeah, so the real inspiration behind the Kindness and Smile Zone actually came from my personal experiences and observations. So, having been a sick child and facing health challenges since birth, I realized how quickly a child can start viewing themselves as just a patient instead of a child. And whenever you're in a hospital setting, I feel like the system is very well designed to treat your body, treat your illness, but the experience can be overwhelming and this can take a toll on your mental health. And I remember being that kid who used to sit in the hospital rooms looking at my family, and it doesn't have a toll just on me, but also on your family. I remember my parents and younger sister, who was less than 1 year old at the time, and they'd be sitting there just waiting for hours, waiting for me to get better. And that is what I feel makes a kid feel even more sad and helpless to see their family going through so much too because of them. And that's how I realized that a child's illness affects the whole family. And I started the Kindness to Smile Zone because I didn't want to sit back and watch that empathy gap persist. And I wanted to change that experience that I had for other families. So, my goal behind this was to bring back a sense of joy and give kids a reason to be off their screens and just be a kid again for a little bit. And I want every kid out there who may be sick or maybe healthy to know that they aren't helpless and difficult times like an illness will eventually pass. And I also wanted to prove to myself that my health limitation doesn't necessarily need to become my life's limitation, and that creating this kind of peer connection is just as vital as the clinical medicines provided.
So, tell me about how things have been going so far. How's the idea working?
So, the Kindness and Smile Zone is going pretty well so far. It's a global youth led organization now, and it supports children and pediatric patients across the globe. We have an international team of around 25 volunteers who are high school and university students, and they're just as passionate about helping children as me. We have branched off from more than just activity packs to Smile Mail, through which we create cards to give to children as well as their families and hospitals. We've to date roughly impacted 400 children through these activity packs, coloring pages, as well as now educational resources. We have medical webinars with medical students, medical professionals, as well as experts in the field. We also have educational resources such as blogs, collaborations with other organizations, etc. And I was able to publish my own novella called Colors of Courage, which is actually about a journey of one of my friends who I made during my visit to the hospital. And she was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, but she had a passion for art and drawing. And it's a story about how she took her juvenile arthritis to not let her limit her passion for art, and she continued beyond that illness. And that book has been had a great response so far. Whatever funds we've collected from that have been poured back into the Kindness and Smile Zone. I was recently interviewed by news channels like Channel Kindness, CBC News, etc. And I'm grateful to see that people are being impacted by our work. And we've had over 4,000 views across all our channels. And I've also became a Children's Hero Ambassador for the Children's Health Foundation, through which I'm helping to advocate for chronically ill children, as well as helping to raise more funds for hospitals and all the services they provide to children.
It's crystal ball time, my friend. Where do you see this idea of 3 to 5 years from now?
So, my vision for the future is just to make kindness become a measurable part of pediatric care. And long term, I definitely want to expand our reach through the Kindness and Smile Zone and reach more pediatric wards across the globe so every child has a creative outlet for them. And I also want to see more kids receiving our work as well as being educated on important health topics so they never feel that they're alone in their health journey. And I also want to help them grow the same sense of gratefulness and appreciation that I've developed through my own experiences. Ultimately, my goal behind all of this is to just spread more smiles, reach more families, and bring them a genuine sense of joy and happiness. I want to continue advocating for chronically ill children and inspire a generation of patient-centric advocates who aren't afraid to innovate within the healthcare system.
What's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can I learn more about the idea?
So you can definitely search for us on Google and you'll easily find our website, our profiles. You can also send us an email, and we're very active on Instagram as well at the Kindness and Smile Zone, and that's a great place to see our latest projects or send us a message.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you.